Greetings, citizens of Riverside, California, United States of America, and of the world. Yes, I'm here in my bathroom, but don't worry about that. I'm not here to make jokes or humor. I'm just here to give a quick wrap-up of the phone calls that I made yesterday to my local congressman, Mark Takano. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate setting. This is interesting. I called the local city office, and I also called his Washington, D.C. office, and it was two different types of responses. The local office here in Riverside, his office staffer, some gentleman, I didn't bother to ask for the name because do we really care? It's about our Second Amendment, not about the staffer. Fellow did try to, express talking points. They want to go to the, gun show loopholes and all that. And they're waiting for the investigation to wrap up, which you don't need to investigate too far to know what's going on. Not to mention all the evidence has been tampered with at the apartment because the press got into it. So, yeah, the San Bernardino shooting thing's going to screw things up here in the Inland Empire for a while, I think. That whole gun show loophole they talk about, the straw man purchase, basically say, you buy a gun at an auction gun show and you want to give it to your kid, your grandkid as a gift or whatever, or to a buddy as a gift. That's what they're trying to mess with. So they're trying to take away your ability, it's one form of legislating private property is what it ultimately boils down to. If they start telling you how you can and can't transfer a gun, the next point will be how you can and can't transfer a car, which they're already doing, how you can and can't transfer valuables, whatever. In other words, your private property isn't your family's or someone else's unless they approve it first. That's kind of like what ties into the estate tax and all those issues. Well, getting over the local guy, he seemed to want to put out the basic talking points. He was willing to listen, but again, they want to stress the investigation's not complete. And that's kind of interesting because, in the time it's taken them for the investigation, some of the media outlets have kind of dropped the coverage of the being 3 shooters or assailants. It's down to 2 now. Okay, 2, whatever. And then on the flip side, we'll go up and look at how the D.C. office was. The young lady who picked up the line at the D.C. office did more listening than talking. Of course, just like the local office offered to pass our point of view on and so on, and went a step further in asking if we wanted a letter from our congressman, back, in reply to this issue or laying out his viewpoints, which is all well and good, but I don't know. I don't think their ears are open for the conversation. When people say sensible gun reform, we have the Second Amendment, which was made by very sensible people of their time who were looking forward to times that would be like today. Now, you're going to tell us that they couldn't envision, us having assault rifles or missiles or whatever. It's like you're talking about Benjamin Franklin, who was a genius, a Renaissance man of his time. You're talking about Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, he had slaves, and for those who don't realize, a lot of his slaves wound up being released after he passed on, or they wound up getting their freedom in other ways. Talking about George Washington, you don't become a general just by luck. He already had rank in the British military. He already was well-trained, well-schooled. We can talk about John Adams, go back, to other founding fathers, Paul Revere. We can go to Thomas Paine. All these men are extremely educated. They have foresight, and they were sensible. The fact that the government has drones, okay, the government has drones. They still got to examine the rubble once they've blown a building up, and you could either be in there or not. So that still means eventually it does come down to boots on the ground, no matter what theater of warfare it is. Someone's boots on the ground. So, the D.C. office and the local office, while I think they listen to us, I don't think they listen to us with open ears. So, you folks out there in Riverside, go out there. You make the phone calls too. I'm only one voice. And hopefully by me explaining to you how to do this stuff, this voice, these actions will be augmented, and the folks behind the shootings in San Bernardino, the actual folks, the financiers, the people who are providing these guys with their weaponry and armaments, get brought to justice. And if they happen to be, members of our government, corrupt wings of our government or corrupt factions within, then so be it. It's not going to bring the country down if we, prosecute people who are doing crimes. The real truth is the public just has to open their eyes and understand what the crimes are. Whether it's, people on the right being involved in pedophilia, or people on the left being involved in lying about military cover-ups of weapons deals. That would be Benghazi for those who don't know. If we don't insist on justice and accountability from our elected officials, every time something comes up, they will keep pushing the limits to see what they can get away with, what they can slip by with. So I'm rambling on 6 minutes here. Another little Riverside rant for all of you, whether it's your city hall, your congressman, or local businesses. Again, you got to represent. Vote with your dollars, vote with your voices, vote with your words, vote with your actions. A democracy is only as good as the people who are in it. And a lot of Americans are lazy. So get unlazy real fast. Don't flush your opportunities down the crapper. Y'all have a good one. And my next updates will be all holiday related, assuming nothing goes wrong in this town. Have a good day.